Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. Let's talk about Survivor 47, Episode 8.
Was there more to that?
Nope, that was
it. But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.
And you can support us on Patreon if you like at patreon.com/nerdtainment.
We're a little early.
We are.
You know what? I also didn't check my settings.
Some audio settings. I think that's the right microphone.
Beautiful. Look at us. Good. Okay. Hi. Okay. This episode starts with Rachel all alone. Because remember, she had to leave.
Safety without power. So she had to leave the tribal council all by her lonesome and go back to camp. And she's kind of digging around like, where is the flint?
She doesn't even know what the flint is. So she's just in the dark. Just like...
For probably a long time.
Yes, because they talk.
She left and they filmed a complete new tribal.
Right.
And that can take hours.
Right.
From what we've heard. Like, of the production schedule in these tribal councils. It takes a long time.
Yes.
So she's in the dark for hours, and the tribe comes back, and she's still in the dark. And they're like, we can't even see you. And she's like, Marco, hello, like, I'm over here. They're all getting there. I think they light a fire. Gabe is not happy that Rachel had this power. It threw a wrench in his plans. He did not want to break up Tuku Blue at this point, so he's a little sour when he sees her.
He is, but Rachel's obviously in a good mood.
Oh, yeah.
And Saul is like, hey.
He's in a great mood.
Hey, Rachel.
He's like, Rachel.
Hey, friend.
She's like, somebody had my back. And he's like, it was me. And she's like, I knew it. And she throws her arms around him. And he's like, pleased as punch with himself. And he's like, I'm building my SSAs, Saul's Secret Army.
Did we say assassins?
Saul's Secret.
Who were they?
Associates? I forget what it stands for.
His assistants?
Saul's got a plan where he's going to build his little coalition now. So he's pleased to have Rachel as part of that. And, I mean, everyone's kind of giving Rachel credit for the move. And then they're like, good job, Rachel. If I were Rachel, I'd be like, I didn't do this.
Yeah, and she does kind of say, like, this might bring attention to me.
Yeah.
That isn't necessarily great, but look, she's safe.
Yeah.
And yeah, good on you, Rachel, but obviously somebody else did it. There's not as much talk about that we're seeing in the edit.
Yeah.
But we do get to hear from Sam that he really feels like this is the Gata Lavo versus
this is the moment.
Tuku.
And he pulls Rachel aside and he's like, I watched the second tribal. You were going to go. Like, it was going to be you.
Right. Oh, yeah. A lot of them come back with that. Like, reading them.
Yeah.
It was you.
It was you.
Yeah.
So he's kind of locking Rachel up in his plan to sort of take on Tuku now because they're one down and he wants to sort of pick them off one by one.
Sure.
Next day, we've got this little love fest between Kyle and Saul. And Kyle's like, Saul's a great guy, you know? He's got a beautiful smile. And they're just having a ball in the jungle together.
Let's talk about Kyle's accent.
I have proof. I will play these. You go while I pull this up.
Well, first I was going to say the comments were mixed, but leaning towards, yes, he has an accent.
Yes. And I would like to address everyone who said I was doing more of a Minnesota accent. Fair.
100% he was doing a Minnesota accent. I believe I said that
close to a Michigan accent.
It is.
Okay.
No one claimed it was a Michigan accent.
Someone said it's like an offensive
or
and condescending.
The one person who said it was condescending, I was so grateful that other people were like, hilarious.
Yeah.
And some people were like, spot on.
Yeah. I did not spot on. No. It's exaggerated for comedy. I don't know.
We did not practice.
Yeah.
We did not come prepared for some professional.
I'm not trying to perfect this.
No.
I'm doing it for fun.
No condescension.
Sorry to that person who thought it was condescending, but it's not intended to be.
No. We don't know what we're doing over here.
Listen to this.
Oh, God.
Okay.
The social game's the dangerous part. Yeah.
The social game's the dangerous part. Don't you hear that?
The social game's the dangerous part. Yeah.
The social game's the dangerous part.
Okay.
Come on. And I've got another one I'll play later, okay? I'll hold it.
Look, you're not the only one who hears it, David. People are backing you up. But I gotta say, I was listening.
And
I was like, every maybe 20th word.
Yes.
He had.
Fair. It's a faint accent.
It's very faint. It's not a strong accent. I just didn't pick up on it. But sure, he's got a little bit of it. I honestly think he's got a little bit of Southern in there, though, too.
Well, I'm going to need you to present a case for that, because I'm not hearing that part.
Not gonna. I'm 100% not going to. I think he's got an interesting accent. It's a blend of something.
Yeah.
And, but I didn't pick up on it. But validate David.
Thank you.
It is
Thank
there.
Thank you all. And I see people validating me in the comments as well. Saul's Secret Agents, by the way. Thank you, Anne and Vicky. So anyway, this is all leading toward Caroline giving what I think is perhaps the stiffest produced line, where she walks up and she's like, I was walking and I found something interesting.
Oh.
Let's go into the jungle. If I'm a producer, I'm not assigning Caroline to that role again.
No, she was like, follow me. And they go traipsing through the
Hello,
woods.
everyone.
Yes.
I found something.
So off they run to a table.
Right.
And they read the note, and it is Survivor Auction.
It's the auction. They're all thrilled. And it's the same kind of thing as the last time we did the auction, where they have to race through the jungle to find these tubes.
Earn their money.
Of money.
Earn their money.
Yes.
Andy.
What? Some people are killing it. Sierra specifically is like absolutely murdering it. Apparently she's like a world champion Easter egg hunter.
Gabe was like racking them up.
Because Gabe is like, I've not had any food that I didn't find literally on the beach. So I need food. They're doing great. Andy, he is quickly becoming the character of the season.
Y'all.
He is jogging so comically slowly and walking right by tubes that are in plain sight.
This edit, like don't you think, oh God, they're watching this too, right? Because when Andy was out there struggle bussing, he didn't know it was right there that he passed. He's like, where are the bamboo tubes?
He's literally like...
It's here. It's right here.
Just the slowest jog. And he's like, I can't find any tubes. I don't know where any of them are.
Genevieve goes, no, you haven't found it?
Yoink.
Right there. Right there.
I think Sierra also finds one that's right in front of him. There literally is that one shot where you're the tube and I'm Andy and he walks by it. And I'm like, is your peripheral vision broken?
What are you looking for? It had purple string.
Maybe he's colorblind.
It's string. David, you would see string.
Well, it's also like a distinct tube.
Yeah, it's not nature-colored string.
It was crazy how many
Andy.
he ran by.
And he's like, I still don't have any. I'm like, my heart, I think I would have given him a tube. I'd have been like, I feel bad for you. Here's one. You're standing right next to one, Andy. Turn around. It's right there. But no.
He says, I'm having a bad time and I don't know what's going on. My eyes work fine. I beg to differ. I don't think they do.
I don't think your eyes were working. Something in the brain was a little off too, because I don't think you knew what you were looking for. I don't know, Andy.
I'm just not sure. And it never became like, I got him. This was all part of my plan. And I didn't want any money for like, that was not it.
No, unfortunately, he sat through that auction like this. It was not his plan. He was so sad. He couldn't get no food.
So time's up. They go. Sierra's counting her mountain of tubes.
Yeah.
Sue was my favorite part. She counts cash like an old woman. She's just like looking back at her cash.
Like a 45-year-old?
Yes. Like exactly. Yeah. The licking of the fingers. It's so that.
520. Yeah.
She's like the pit boss at a casino or something, just like, yep, counting it out. So they're all counting their cash. Sierra ends up with over $1,000 to Andy's $0.
Oh my Lord.
So they're headed off to the auction now with their spoils.
Let's do it. Yay.
So Andy at least is not going to lose his vote, Jeff points out.
Great. Good job, Andy. Way to not lose your vote. Good on you. So we're doing the same thing we did last time, which was what, like 2 seasons ago. At least 5.
Right.
But Jeff's going to have some magical number that no one knows.
Up to 15.
And they're not going to know when the last one is.
And the point is, whoever has the most money at the end loses their vote. So
Yeah.
you have to be strategic about when and how much you're spending your money. So Jeff draws that number. We get some like quick, Saul gets the chips, right? And the soda. And the crunch is driving everybody insane.
So loud.
Teeny spends $640 on mac and cheese.
You know what? Honestly, that mac and cheese looked really good.
It did look good.
It would make me so sick. I wouldn't want to eat it, but I would.
Yeah. Then Sierra, what did she buy for $800? Oh, it was the secret margarita chips and guac thing.
Yeah, well, that one was covered. And so she just throws down her $800.
But the next largest cash value on the board was $660. So all you need to do is bid $680. Like, I don't know why she's throwing out $800 for this.
But I think it's because I don't want any money left over.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter. Like, in this moment, the amount of money doesn't matter. It's just like, I have money, I would like that thing.
Uh-huh.
So just spend it all.
But she's left with $260. It just was like, that's an interesting...
That's
Because
true.
Gabe basically was like, well, nobody can beat that. And you like went way over what you needed to
true.
max it out.
That math didn't math.
Yeah.
She's a nurse. Maybe she doesn't math.
Yeah. Then poor Kyle.
Oh my God. So his is also covered. Now, Kyle, if you know you have dietary restrictions, Liz, you don't purchase something
That's covered.
Yeah, right? I would do that. I could not handle a burger. I know that. It doesn't matter how hungry I am. I'd be so sick. So I wouldn't be able to bid on something covered.
Yeah. But I mean, what luck that Sam interjects and is like, Jeff, he's not going to be able to eat that if it's meat. Can I offer a backup thing? And Jeff is like, absolutely not. I would love to see Kyle suffer.
Jeff!
Yeah.
Rude.
Sure enough, buffalo wings. I thought he might just take the celery and carrots and dunk it in as much ranch as he can or blue cheese, you know?
You'd think. I did love this whole thing because it's similar to our lives.
Can relate.
He tried to prepare himself for Survivor by eating more than the vegan lifestyle.
Dairy, right.
Which is adding in dairy, probably eggs maybe.
Yeah. Oh, Jeff loved that, by the way. He's like, wait a minute. You're telling me that you started eating dairy to be on Survivor? You should apply to be on Survivor.
This auction was 75% commercial.
Yeah.
He said, you too, come be on 14 times.
Yes.
No less.
I was like, Jeff, do you have a casting problem?
Dial it down. Are you serious?
Yeah.
So bizarro. But
Kyle's
he was like, look at what you do to get on Survivor.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what, Kyle? Here's my PSA to you, buddy.
Okay.
Eat it. It's fine.
And he does.
Forgive yourself. We forgive you. You got to do what you got to do to survive.
He literally was, he just was so good-natured all the time. And he's just like, you know what? I'm going to do it. Why? Because I'm hungry. So I'm bummed that I'm breaking my veganism, but it's not the end of the world. I can go back. I'm going to eat these buffalo wings.
And he did. He was like, here, I'll try one with you, Jeff. And then we cut to him later and he's like,
oh, yeah, sucking him down.
Sucking off the
And
bone.
everyone's like, good job, Kyle.
I have to tell you, when I've gone through different layers of my veganism, and there was a time in college that I added chicken back into my diet because I was literally starving in college, having to feed myself. But I couldn't eat chicken wings or any chicken off the bone.
Off the bone. Mm-hmm.
Off a bone was so hard. It had to be chicken nuggets.
Yeah,
that
tenders.
was not resembling an actual chicken.
Yeah.
So the fact that he was able to do that.
Yeah, no problem.
I was like, you go, Kyle.
Yeah. So Gabe is getting frustrated now because he's like, people are literally winning food that they can't even eat. And I'm sitting here starving.
Yeah.
So he spends all of his money on the next item. And it is a coconut filled with cold water.
That was...
He could not have worse
some
luck.
horrible karma right there, Gabe.
Yes.
Who have you tortured in your life? The coconut water, like literally the thing you've had every day.
I got the sense it wasn't even coconut water.
Right.
It was a
water.
coconut that they emptied and put regular tap water into. That's chilled.
You've got well water. Like he's fine with water. That was really depressing. $660.
Really depressing.
For water.
Then I thought it was interesting, this new little twist they added in where Saul gets the apple pie plus $60 money back.
Sneaky there.
Yeah.
I actually liked that because you're like, oh, I just tried to get rid of all my money.
Right. And now I have this.
Here we are.
Yeah. Then Rachel predicts there's a burger under a thing, and she's right, and she gets her burger and beer.
Intuitive.
Yeah.
I love that.
Very smart, Rachel.
That was great. A burger, fries, and beer. That's a good solid meal right there.
And it's a little bonus item in her fries.
She's gonna realize as she's chowing down there's a little paper scroll in those fries.
The shots they had of her going for the paper and then Saul turning to her and smiling and, oh, what? Oh, people are like, how are the fries? And she's like,
they're really good,
I'm going to finish the burger first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good, thank you. Why don't y'all focus on the auction? Don't worry about me and my food.
Focus on Genevieve and those pastries. While I sneak this little thing into my bra.
Genevieve gets a whole big thing of desserts. It was covered. She ordered or bit off of something covered. But yeah, Rachel's going to eventually, after everyone is thoroughly distracted, be able to pull that out and sock that away.
Yep. Then the breakfast one that becomes a challenge to eat grubs.
Okay. Fun producer idea. I like it. Let's see who can eat this disgusting thing for this meal, and it'll be cheaper. But that shot of Sue drooling grub out of her mouth.
Grub guts. Bloody grub guts.
Nope. That is a hard pass. I don't want to see it. Thank you very much.
So disgusting.
That was so gross. I've never seen something so disgusting.
I literally was like, I can't.
I was like, oh, stop, no.
I mean, Sam took one bite of each grub and just seemed to swallow them whole.
And that's what you got to do. You cannot do whatever Sue was doing.
And Jeff was like, Sue, you can only lose so much out of your mouth before we're going to disqualify you.
Please just stop. Like, why are you torturing yourself and not actually eating it? Oh my God, that was so disgusting. Who was it that tapped out? Sierra?
Sierra. She was like, pass, I don't need it. Yeah. I had chips and guac and a margarita.
Like, I'm good.
Yeah.
But yeah, Caroline tried, Sue tried, but Sam was successful.
Then Caroline did the grub thing and then bought fish eyes and didn't have to, but chose to take a huge bite out of the fish eyes.
I mean, she seemed up for it.
She's game. She's here to play Survivor.
And I guess you have to assume there's some sort of protein in there. I don't know. But she already went for the grubs and she just wasted all of her money on the fish eyes. And then she gets money too.
Yeah.
But we skipped Sue. Sue got a burrito and iced tea.
Oh, right. Yes. It was a lot of good food rewards.
It was. They ended up doing 12 items and most of them were decent meals.
Truly. And Jeff was, of course, making a meal out of the, that is the last, that is not the last, opposite head of whatever the thing is. You know, he's really messing with them.
David, did you catch Jeff doing a British accent?
Oh my God, I forgot.
I was like, uh-oh, there's too many items. He's run out of bits.
He's really scraping the bottom of the barrel with the material.
He said something about Shakespeare in the park, and what was that?
Everyone was like, we are not giving you a call back for that.
No, the contestants were like, You're supposed to laugh at Jeff, right? What? Don't do it again, Jeffrey.
I think it was the last item was the chocolate and peanut butter, right? Yes,
12th item. Sierra's going to bid. It's a pile of peanut butter and a bunch of chocolate. She gets to invite a couple people with her. They only have 3 minutes. But did you notice they didn't even touch the chocolate?
No, they were just shoveling peanut butter into their mouths.
That's smart.
That's
what
tough.
You do.
You can't, peanut butter gets hard to eat. They didn't have water to wash it down, so I'm sure they could only get so much, but they were really going for it. Sierra very kindly had pity on Gabe and was like, come eat something.
Right. And who was the other person?
Caroline.
Caroline, yeah.
Yeah, with
that's
the fish
good.
eyes in the grub.
Didn't have any pity on that Andy, though.
Nope. Nope. I guess he's gotten enough rewards, so she passed him up.
Okay. He's still sitting over there.
Oh, he's
not
stewing.
Saying a thing.
He's stewing. And then it's over, and Sam is left with the most money, so he loses his vote.
He's going to lose his vote, yep.
So back at camp, Sam has no vote, and he's immediately kind of running strategy talks, I noticed, where I was like, Sir, you're supposed to take a back seat when you don't have a vote.
Yeah. It was like he started with, well, I don't have a vote, but if I did.
Yeah, this
and then
is what
I was
we
like,
would do.
Stop right there.
Yeah.
And then the next sentence was, it should be. And I was like, whoa. He really just like took a big leap.
Yeah.
I don't have a vote, but it should be. Like, okay.
Use this moment to let other people feel like they're in charge. Yeah. You don't need to be pushing too hard. Mm-hmm. But then Rachel sneaks off to,
she got to
read her little note.
Yep.
And she learns that there's an idol sewn into the corner of the tarp.
Wow. Okay, this is a tough one.
Yeah.
So she's like going to walk by the tarp and like investigate, and she is able to kind of see it and feel it, and she at least knows where it is.
Yeah.
But she's like, there is always someone at the camp.
I don't know when I'm going to have an opportunity to do this.
Yes.
It's sewn in. I have to rip the tarp open.
I was like, oh my goodness, they're making this so difficult.
Yes.
Very fun, but difficult.
So she's taking a beat to sort of like figure out when she can do this. And the strategy is sort of, again, focused around like Gata plus Lavo versus Tuku, right? We see Sierra, Teeny, and Rachel talking. Still sort of this like simmering women's alliance thing that hasn't fully taken shape, but they're basically saying like, we want to get Tuku and we'd rather get the men first. Yeah. So Gabe, maybe Kyle, because he wins so many immunities.
Teeny is out on a ledge by herself saying, can the women work together?
Please.
For Pete's sakes. And people are like, sure. And then, nope.
Genevieve's like, absolutely not. I need Rachel out of this game.
She does. Genevieve is like, love what that group is doing over there, but that ain't
That's not my plan.
That's my jam.
No.
I'm doing something else.
I want to work with the Tukus.
Yeah.
To take apart Gata.
Okay.
So it's still so tribe focused, but she's like, Sue, Caroline, get over here.
Let's updates.
Rachel's gotta go.
And they're like, agree.
Yeah.
I mean,
Caroline's
Caroline
like,
is
I was
like,
going to do that plan.
Yeah, she's like, girl, preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
Rachel is the winner of the season if we do not get her out.
Yeah.
That's how Caroline feels.
Yep.
They're talking Gata, talking Rachel. Sam would be the obvious threat. Rachel would be the sneaky threat, they're saying.
Right. Then, big group under the shelter. Rachel is awkwardly kind of getting up. Looking around, standing idly next to the shelter. I'm surprised no one is like, are you okay?
Well, I think that's probably pretty normal. You're just like kind of meandering. Like you don't really have anything to do. You're chatting, you're up, you're looking around. But the fact that she was bold enough, she had the machete, David.
She's sawing the tarp open.
Got the machete at the corner of the canopy, and they're just right there. That I'd be like, what you doing with the machete?
When there's a camera trained on the edge of the shelter, I think I'd be like, what are you looking at? And I'd look back and see Rachel ripping the tarp open.
Wielding a machete on the tarp. That is not normal. She's just like, I just feel like they're talking and I'll just go for it.
They added like rip sound effects in the edit where it's like, so it makes it feel. But she is out there, does not get caught.
Nope. She totally gets it. She's like, look, oh yay, I got an idol.
Loved it.
Absolutely. Rachel killing it. I loving what I'm seeing in this episode.
Me too. So now we're going to go to the immunity challenge.
Yeah.
This is a challenge we've seen in many recent seasons with the bucket that holds 25% of your original weight. It's about the grip strength. And some people did not watch Charlie say. They may have not been able to see this season because it may have aired while they were filming.
Wasn't Charlie 2 seasons ago?
Was he? He wasn't on Mackenzie's season? Or Kenzie's season with Maria? Wasn't it last season?
No, that was Charlie.
Because Charlie's the special guest on this season of the podcast with Jeff. So I think it was last season.
That's exactly that.
Well, we all know, thanks to Charlie, that grip strength is one of those things that you need to practice.
And it's all at the forearm? Is that what Charlie told us?
All about the forearms.
Gotta strengthen those forearms. How do you do that? I need a plan, a program.
Right.
How many days a week? What am I doing here?
Yeah. Sam specifically did not practice his grip strength.
He did not.
But he also has a very heavy bucket, I imagine.
Yeah, that's true.
And he acknowledges that. He's like,
Yeah.
my bucket was like 50 pounds.
It would have been, sure.
But it's one man, one woman who are going to win.
Oh, interesting. Now, what is this about, do you think?
I don't know. It felt like not necessarily like earned to have this as the thing.
Were they just trying to give two people immunity?
Seems like maybe.
Or were they trying to do some sort of equality thing?
I don't know.
It made me question.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems a little bit random.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sam and Genevieve are both out quickly. And also Teeny. Less than a minute in. Those three are out, Jeff points out.
Right.
Yeah.
Then Sierra's out. Then Gabe. Caroline is going to fall out.
They're fighting, though. Caroline
Yeah.
and Saul are like trying to, wrench the thing back up. But yeah, Caroline drops. Saul drops. Well, Saul doesn't drop for a minute here, but it's when Caroline drops, it's now Sue versus Rachel for the women. And then Rachel is wrenching hers back up, I think, a little more effectively than Caroline.
Yeah, Rachel was really working at it. Sue, however,
Rock solid.
didn't flinch, didn't seem like.
45-year-olds have famously good grip strength.
Such good grip, such
Yeah.
good forearms.
Uh-huh.
Maybe she's a pilot. They do forearms.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But she was great at it.
She wins.
She's gonna win for the ladies.
Rachel puts up a really good fight, but ultimately she can't save it. So Sue is the winner of the ladies, and it's Andy versus Kyle.
Down to Andy versus Kyle, and I'm like, where did Andy come from?
Well, I was looking. He's got meaty forearms.
He's got strong forearms. Maybe
Yeah.
he probably talked to Charlie. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
But he really was fighting, and I was like, oh my gosh, is Andy gonna get this?
The way he was like making a comeback and getting the bucket back up, and then Kyle was
Kyle looked
kind of
like he was
struggling
struggling.
and not able to wrench it back up.
Yeah.
But ultimately, Kyle wins his third immunity in a row.
But is it his third, David?
Well, you would say no.
I would say no, and I do say no.
But
it does appear that it's three.
It's
in
his
a
third time
row.
wearing the necklace.
It is the third time Jeff is putting that necklace on his neck, but he came in third place last week.
And he
Blessed
is
us not.
not doing himself any favors, but
No.
they're already onto him, so he needs to win every immunity until the final three if he wants to sit there.
And he does say that, because you're like, at this point, you're like, Kyle, what are you doing? Like, you fought Andy for that. You could have just given it to Andy.
Yeah.
But he says, he's like, oh, this is going to be a target on my back. But what? You're just going to do it?
Well, he has to, because everybody already knows. They're already talking about him even before they go to immunity. They're like, let's get Kyle. He's won 2 immunities. So this is...
He has to.
Yeah.
He's doomed.
This is what you have to
do
do.
it.
So I'm thrilled because he's on my draft team. Thank you for winning a third immunity. But yeah, back at camp now. Obviously, Kyle was like kind of part of the plan. He's not an option. So, where are things going to fall?
Well, we first see Gata, Lavo back together, and Sam is dictating where the vote
He's
should
like,
go.
Gabe is a bigger threat than Caroline.
Okay.
So I don't know what you're doing because you have no vote. I literally, at this moment, I was like, he's going to be gone.
Yeah, I was like, this is a build-up for Sam
Why
to
is
go.
he in the edit like this?
Yeah, he's lost his vote. He's saying too much. He even says, we don't need to split the vote. There's no idol. Don't worry about it. Just take Gabe out. And I'm like, sir, you don't have a vote. Sit back.
Every season we see delusion like this.
Delusion.
It's so fun to watch.
It is.
Then we get Sierra sort of talking about Andy.
Yeah.
And we're just keeping him as a number.
She's like, gotta drag him along as my number.
He's our little lackey. He's going to do whatever we say. And that mindset has really seeped in and is now coming through in the way she speaks to him.
Yeah.
And Andy doesn't like that.
She does similar to Sam. She says the vote is Gabe. And he gives her clues. We see him say, yeah, I just feel really out of the loop. And she's like, yeah, the vote's Gabe. Like, she doesn't pick up.
She's like, yeah, I'm looping you in.
Yeah.
And he's like, but...
He's like, I'm telling you, I'm not feeling connected
There's
to
no
this
question
group.
of like, do I agree with this plan or what are my thoughts? You're just telling me. And Andy doesn't like that.
No, nor should he.
So Andy gets a big moment where he's going to sit in confessional, glasses on, She's All That style. And I said, if Sarah doesn't do an impression of this moment, because it is so spot on.
The man got a She's All That makeover? How much did I love this? How much did I love it? He's all like...
He literally pulls his hair out like Sarah does.
And then he was like... I'm going to vote how I want to vote. I'm going to take them out. Sam and Sierra, I'm going to separate them.
Oh my God.
I was like, yes!
was beside myself when he pulled his hair out to the side slow-mo. I was like, that is Sarah.
I'm doing
Sarah
him.
is on Survivor.
I'm doing him.
You have to go back and watch if you've not. He's literally wearing Sarah's glasses.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Y'all, like, time out though. The way that Andy is like so significant in this edit, when he does not actually control this vote, he did not win immunity.
No.
Like, there's no reason for him to be so in this edit.
But they're giving it to him.
But there is a reason. You
Yeah.
just gotta think long term. Like, what is the reason here?
He's top 3, you guys.
Gotta be. There's no other
There.
reason we would have the She's All That makeover.
Yeah.
Oh, so good though.
It's so good. And so he's now saying, like, Gata's dead to me.
Dead.
I want to work with Tuku and Lavo to get them out one by one. And so then we get these conversations with, like, Kyle, for example, where he says,
The social game's the dangerous part.
the social game's the
The
dangerous
social
part.
game. I heard it in the social.
The social game's
The
the dangerous
social.
part. Dangerous, right? Dangerous.
Dangerous.
That's where you, like, yeah.
Aha.
Anyway, so
Okay.
they're talking about Sierra here. It's basically like Sierra or Sam. Those are the two that have offended
Yes.
Andy.
Yes.
Everybody also recognizes they're a duo, so we need to break them up. Like, who are we going to focus on? And Sierra is obviously, like, the savvier social player, they're saying.
Books and Quirks. Hello. Thank you so
Hello.
much.
Thank you for the super sticker.
Good to see you. I think that we have been told for episodes now that people think Sam and Sierra are a duo.
Yeah.
We know they are a duo.
Yeah.
Even though they're acting like they're not.
Right.
But are they acting like they're not? We don't know because everyone says they're a duo.
Right.
So yes, split them up. Absolutely. That's what you do first. You split up duos.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the big one of them. They both have a reason to go for them.
Yeah.
But Genevieve also has ideas.
Yeah. She's like, I think we should get Sam. There's just this whole, like, is it Sierra or Sam? Is it Sierra or Sam? And there's so much flip-flopping back and forth.
But she's like, how about Rachel?
Yeah. Right.
Did you not hear what I thought about
She's like,
Rachel?
no, I hear you on Sierra and Sam. And Rachel's also a gata.
And Caroline's like, I'm with you, girl. I
Yeah.
love it. Let's get Rachel out. I think they're just putting that into the edit for us.
Yeah.
But obviously, Rachel is someone they keep
Rachel's a
talking about.
long-term threat
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
People have their eyes on her. Then we get a great moment with Rachel and Sierra in the jungle, and they're like, where is everybody? This doesn't fit. The vibe is off.
Why are they talking?
They're like, do
Yeah.
you think Tuco and Lavo might be working together? And I'm like, ding, ding, ding.
Oh, hello.
Follow your gut.
It did sound like Rachel maybe took that to heart a little bit more than Sierra.
Yeah.
But let's go to Tribal because
Let's
this was one for the
Let's
books.
see if they can agree on a target here. So, Gabe is talking about the auction, right? Oh, it was
yeah,
Jeff,
Saul
Christmas
was
Day, World War I, ceasefire.
Gabe, what?
Everybody goes out to play soccer. That was the auction. I'm like, that is quite a metaphor.
Now, somebody in our Discord said he saw the what's the show with the
MASH.
no no Sue, it wasn't MASH. The TARDIS.
Doctor Who.
There was
Okay.
an episode that apparently is a thing.
Oh, okay.
And that I was like, that makes more sense.
Okay.
Than he probably knowing that history.
Yeah.
But maybe he does.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Maybe he's a history
But
nerd.
anyway, that's the Survivor auction.
But it's just, all the talk is about, like, can you even trust yourself? Yes, you're the only person you can trust. Like, where are the alliances? Because this really is, to me, feeling like the first merge vote.
Right.
The first vote where Rome went home, it was like Murgatory.
Yep.
Last episode, they were split into 2 tribes again. So here they are. And by the way, it's an 11-person tribal. And I remember a few videos back, I was like, it feels a little early for the merge. They normally do it at 11. So this is really when it's starting to feel like we are one tribe now.
Right.
And like, we're still figuring out where allegiances lie.
Yeah, the producers like to futz with it a bit, but here we are. And they all have to get the numbers. Somebody talks about, like, you need more numbers now. They're also like, who's ready for war versus, like, who's already at war. Rachel's like, my name, or was it Andy? My name already went down.
Yeah. Sam is like, it's really, it's hard to be a shepherd when there are so many more animals to herd. And I'm like, you don't have a vote. Like, stop referring to yourself as a shepherd.
I was like, did Sam just tell them he's the shepherd?
Yeah.
Sir, that's not what you say.
It's not what you say. Like, stop with this narrative.
And I heard someone I was on Survivor with say they were the shepherd. You are the next person I'm taking out.
Get out of here with that
You're not in charge of
language.
me,
You're not my
sir.
shepherd.
I ain't your sheep.
Then we get Kyle talking about how getting voted out is really a compliment because it means you're good at the game. And he says...
Same way, almost a compliment, saying like, hey, like,
A
you're really good
A
at this
compliment.
game.
I heard it.
A compliment.
I
Okay?
love it. It's
So let's put this debate to bed. He has an accent.
Again, it's every 20th word, but it is there. He does have a few words there.
Andy, though, like you say, is like confident in a way that most people aren't. Where he's like, Jeff throws to him, obviously, because he's the star of the season.
Yep.
And he's like, well, I have a name in mind and a plan. And I'm confident that it's going to pan out the way I want it to. It's vaguely
like,
threatening.
I'm the king of blind sides. I'm the one who enjoys it. And I'm going to do another one right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the only one, like, smiling. Mm-hmm. As everyone else is like, what's happening? He's like...
Because he really is the one who's flipping here.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few people flipping, but...
But it's like, it's been so
Andy.
tribe focused of like which 2 tribes are going to work together to get another tribe out. And Andy's like, well, I will completely abandon my tribe actually and work to get them out. So he is like a little bit of a Judas here, betraying his alliance that they think he's working with them.
So what Rachel does, though, she is so iconic in this whole episode. She really is very good at this game.
She is.
So she is not going to play that idol yet.
No, she's not.
She gauges everyone's behavior by playing her shot in the dark.
Yeah.
This is brilliant.
I thought it was such a smart moment to play her shot in the dark because so many people are like saving it for something and then they never use it. I was like, granted, I mean, if she was the target, she would have been out, right? She played the shot in the dark.
she was going to play the idol.
Oh, you mean she gauged their reactions after she played the shot in the dark?
She 100% played that shot in the dark because this is a good time. There's enough people.
Totally.
If it's you, whatever.
Yeah.
But if the vote is going elsewhere, they don't need your vote.
Uh-huh.
So she plays her shot in the dark, and she didn't look at Jeff at all. She looked down that aisle the whole time when he was like, she's not safe. And she was like watching the Adam's apples. She was like, who's gulping real loud?
Yeah.
And then she decided she didn't need to play her idol.
So smart.
I thought it was
to
brilliant.
use it strategically like that rather than as just your like Hail Mary to stay in the game.
Yeah.
Really, really smart. She understands like the odds are against her. Why not just use it as a little bit of a temperature check for this vote? And now I know I don't need to use my idol this vote.
Exactly.
But she still knows people are after her.
Yes.
So really good move.
Yes.
She's not safe, though, so she has no vote.
No.
So we're gonna
Well, that's fine.
read the votes, and it is a tie.
We get 1 vote for Gabe,
Yeah.
which is Sierra, because Sam doesn't have a vote.
Yep.
That means that Andy's not the only one who turned. That means that Rachel turned. Mm-hmm. We already saw...
No, Rachel didn't vote,
Oh, that's right. Rachel didn't vote.
and Sam didn't vote.
Never mind. I was like, Rachel must
Sierra
have been
was the
vote
only
10.
got to, other than Andy, who voted.
Because we knew Teeny was, like, pulled over. Mm-hmm. Oh, so I don't know if Rachel knew the plan.
Yeah.
That's my next question.
I
Did
doubt
Rachel
she
know the
did,
plan?
unless like Saul clued her in or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Sam, Gabe, Sam, Sierra, Sam, Sierra, Sam, Sierra, Sierra.
yeah, it's a tie. So I don't know if you have any sense from your conversation with Sierra about, was this really a case of they couldn't agree on a target, or was it an intentional vote split and an intentional tie?
I think it was an intentional vote split in case of an idol.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know if somebody messed up to make it a tie.
Right.
Or if they were willing
Because it was
to
interesting
go to a tie.
that everybody went Sierra in the revote.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they just do like a 5-3 situation in the first vote
Exactly.
if Sierra was the real target? Like, that was a little confusing to me.
Maybe they thought Rachel would have voted Sierra. Maybe she was the extra vote to tip the scales.
Oh, interesting. Could be.
And since she didn't vote,
Yep.
it turned out to be a tie.
Okay. Smart.
Then that would mean they looped her in.
That's smart. She would have, maybe if she
Because,
did
yeah,
know about
you
the
would-
plan, she would have tipped it one way or the other.
You don't have to make it even. Like, you just give one person the most. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we're going to come to a tie. And Jeff's going to give us some weird story about how usually those two people don't vote. But because Sam doesn't have a vote, Sarah's going to vote.
Yeah.
I was like, this still doesn't make sense.
And I thought, okay, Sam's going to go.
Well, now,
Because maybe these people are going to stick to their votes.
Should have gone.
Yes.
Why did they decide Sierra?
I don't know. I mean, from what we've seen, granted, we're just seeing the edit, I will acknowledge, but like, I don't think she's that much more of a social
She does
threat.
have a social game.
Yeah.
I'll give her the social game. But she's not been great at challenges.
No.
And I would imagine Sam's going to be able to do some of the more strength-oriented
Maybe they wanted to keep Sam as a shield. Because there's been a lot of like strategic shield conversations happening. So maybe they were just like, like keep him in. He's like bossy and people are going to want to get him out later on. He's an easy target later.
Yeah, I don't know. He seems much more of a leader.
Yeah.
I would have taken him out.
Yeah.
So interesting choice, but they all come back, and the only vote for Sam is the one Sierra has to do, obviously.
Yeah.
So Sierra is gone.
And Andy is smirking. He is so pleased with himself.
So pleased. He split them up. I can't give him credit, but he's getting credit through this edit.
He's gonna write that narrative
Yeah.
when he's sitting in final tribal council.
He is.
So-
He said, when he voted, he said, I'm a dirty player. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you're not really, but I love this for you. Just because you're turning on people who turned on you.
Right.
That's fair.
No, I love that he's living a Survivor fantasy. It is so fun to watch.
Yes. Yeah, I spoke with Sierra. She obviously saw things differently. She did talk about how she wished she had nurtured the relationship with Andy a little
differently.
more. And
Yeah.
like she did drop the ball on that.
Yeah.
And that is accurate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a fun talk with her. She's so lovely.
Yeah.
She's a Gemini. Of course, she had a good social game. That's what
Yeah.
Geminis are best at. So yes, please go watch it if you haven't yet.
Yes.
But because I did ask her, remember when she voted out Annika, and I was like, why
Yeah.
didn't she vote out Sam?
Yeah.
Why go to merge looking like you're a duo?
Yeah.
And so I tried to ask her that in a polite way. And she basically said, like, she didn't think that they were acting like a duo. And I'm like,
But people are
it
telling
doesn't
you
matter.
that over and over
Exactly.
again.
If people say that's the perception, cut it.
Cut it loose.
Doesn't matter.
Find a new duo.
Because she was like, we purposely just talk to other people. And it's like, no, you guys were obviously a duo.
Yeah.
They all saw it.
Yeah.
So I don't know why she couldn't see it anyway. But yes.
Yeah. So, preview for next time. Sam has a vendetta. He's upset. That's true. Facts.
Oh, thank you.
And then it's this like flurry of names that are getting thrown out.
Oh,
Saul,
sure,
Kyle,
yeah.
Sue, Gabe. Like, who knows who the target is going
Yeah.
to be in the next episode?
Right, 'cause
Rachel
Sam's
is still
gonna
going
be
to be
mad
part of the
now.
conversation.
Rachel's going to still be a threat, but she's armed with an idol.
Yeah.
Andy is just doing Andy.
I don't think people are paying attention to him as a threat.
He's really not. They're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
But he's getting a makeover, so
Yeah.
they should. They should pay attention. Yep. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Saul and Rachel, please. Love that.
Love that.
Andy and Genevieve, loving that.
yes.
Caroline and Sue, I'm not sure what they're doing, but
they're around.
Caroline has her eye on the prize. She knows what's up.
Yep, she's very smart.
Yeah.
I like her a lot.
Teeny just seems to sort of be like
she's just kind of there
stuck
right
in
now.
the middle, but that's gonna have to change at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty, another lovely episode.
Yes.
Now next week I think is different. Are we on next Sunday instead of
Correct.
Thursday?
Not Thursday, but Sunday.
Okay, so we'll be a little delayed next week, but we will absolutely be back. Everyone in the comments, thank you so much. Not the comments. Everyone in the chat, thank you so much for being here live.
And for those of you who get into the comments, please do leave us one and let us know how you feel about this Sierra blindside and, you know, Andy's makeover and where the sort of like tribal allegiances are gonna go moving forward. Are they gonna continue to, you know, pick off Gata Yellow? This might be my favorite impression we've ever done. Ever. It's so good. And it's so simple.
It's so simple.
It's the eyes and the hair.
It is.
That's all you have to do.
Yep.
What a tribute.
Right.
I love it so much.
Talk about a forced producer moment, though.
I know.
Then when they made him walk down and do that, that was
like,
so produced.
Oh, but he's eating it up.
He is.
He's so
like,
ready for that.
He's like, ooh, I'm going to get a moment.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's go. All right,
So
we
good.
love it. We love it. And Kyle has an accent. Good stuff. All right, we'll see you next week.
See you then.
Bye.